Good evening to you. I'm Marnie Hughes. More than 5 months after the FBI launched an investigation into the death of Gabby Petito and the manhunt for Brian Laundrie, the agency has released its final report, essentially closing this case, sharing details of the investigation, and answering some of the questions we have all had since Gabby's disappearance. In this report, we finally learned what was inside Brian Laundrie's notebook. New information about text messages on Brian and Gabby's phones Brian sent meant to throw police off track. And a timeline laid out by investigators of the key moments in this case. In a moment, correspondent Brian Entin and former FBI agent Jennifer Coffendorfer will be joining us live. But I do think it's important we start with Gabby and why this case drew so much attention. Many people saying that they could relate to Gabby. Young and ambitious, setting off on the road trip of a lifetime across the country, visiting national parks along the way. Gabby was just 22 years old, her whole future ahead of her. We now know that future cut tragically short by someone she believed loved her. But in the end, that person she may have trusted most turned on her. In this report, the FBI states its primary focus was to bring justice to Gabby and also to her family, the culmination of a 5-month-long investigation and a nationwide manhunt. The report that we've all been waiting for, summed up in a single page, one piece of paper. For comparison, last week, Moab police released 99 pages of an independent investigation into the 4-hour traffic stop with Gabby and Brian. 99 pages, 4 hours. 5 months, 1 page. This Moab report had extensive details of what unfolded, unintentional missteps by law enforcement, and extensive interviews. So if this is it, this 1-page final report from the FBI, I still have a lot of questions. You may too. I want to begin, though, with what this report reveals and what it does show us we have learned over the course of these 5 months. Brian Entin has been the reporter at the center of this case, covering every single development as it happened. And tonight, the details of this latest piece of information, closing the case, essentially, Brian, and the final chapter in this tragic story. Let's begin with the notebook, Brian. We know that the notebook was found in the reserve near Brian Laundrie's remains. The notebook belonged to Brian Laundrie. The police and FBI now say written statements from Brian claiming responsibility for Gabby's death were revealed inside that notebook. However, the report did not go into any further detail about what was specifically said. So I know I can't even ask you a question about it because it doesn't reveal it. What I can ask you, though, is a new piece of information. The one thing we didn't know until today is these text messages between Brian and Gabby's phones. This was new, this was interesting, and this is an important detail in this investigation.
Yeah, it definitely was interesting, Marnie, and that was such a good comparison that you did between this FBI report and the Moab report, because while this new report today, of course, does bring some closure to the case, and it's now officially closed by the FBI, it was somewhat underwhelming that it was not a very detailed report. You zeroed in, though, on those final text messages. That was something new, at least coming from the FBI. You'll remember, Marnie, when all of this started, we heard from Gabby's mom, and she said that something was very strange about the final text messages from Gabby to her mom. She called her grandpa Stan. She would have never done that. It didn't make much sense at all. Well, now the FBI today confirming in this report that the final text messages sent by Gabby Petito's phone were actually sent by Brian Laundrie after he killed Gabby Petito.
Right. And my question then is, will we ever see what those text messages said specifically? Will law enforcement share that? The other thing, Brian, that struck me, the Petitos visited with the FBI for 8 hours yesterday, essentially going through some of Gabby's things that were in the Laundrie's house. I would imagine they know much more than what this report reveals. Will the public ever be privy to this information about the investigation and the details of what the FBI found?
Yes, I know that they know much more. You mentioned it. They were there for 8 hours. They were given a lot of the details that we aren't privy to yet. Sadly, they also left the FBI with boxes, evidence that stuff that belonged to Gabby's, her belongings that were either in the van or at the Laundrie house. So you can imagine how emotional this must be for Gabby's family right now. But in terms of when we'll find out, it's very, very difficult getting information out of the feds. You can put in open records requests. They can sometimes take literally years. So it'll be interesting to see if they slowly release more details. But based on what they did today, it seems like this is it for now.
Brian, the other thing that the report reveals, they said that Brian Laundrie was the only person involved in the death of Gabby. You spent weeks outside of the Laundrie home in Florida. I want to ask you about their cooperation with law enforcement over the course of the investigation. And the report, as you know, is a bit vague on this, but they state that on September 17th, Brian Laundrie's parents reported him missing after law enforcement conducted a welfare check. And then you fast forward to October 20th, and they say after weeks of searching, the Laundrie attorney notified law enforcement that the Laundrie parents intended to return to the park to search. So when left to interpretation, my question is, it has you wondering who was calling the shots, who was leading who, the Laundrie parents or the FBI in the investigation? Because there are some holes here in terms of what was released today.
There are holes, and this is another sort of thing that remains unresolved. We know the Laundries were not cooperating in the beginning. That's what Northport police were telling us in the beginning. But sort of where it went from there is still sort of a mystery. And that's why it would be so interesting to get the full case file from the FBI. Do they have information, text messages, phone calls? They were outside the Laundrie's house. What do they know about what the Laundries knew throughout that entire process? We still don't know.
And the other thing, Brian, this report does is give us a timeline. On September 15th, the Mustang was recovered from the reserve. September 17th, the Laundries report Brian missing. September 18th, the search at the reserve starts. September 22nd, the arrest warrant for Brian is issued for using Gabby's debit cards. We knew all of these things. This was not new information. So what stands out to you as still unanswered?
Well, there's a couple of things. Of course, number one would be the notebook. We know that, according to the FBI, there was a note in the notebook where Brian Laundrie claimed responsibility for Gabby's death. But what else did he say? Was it a long note? Did he give a motive? It would be very, very interesting to see that. And then again, I'm curious how deep they went into investigating the Laundries. Was there a consideration to possibly charge them? Where did the investigation go in that direction? They really didn't elaborate on that.
And do we expect them to? Will there be a formal press conference? Will there be any more information voluntarily given about what they found?
Based on what they put out today, I would say no. I mean, they called this basically the final release, the end of the investigation. So I think this is really it. Back to the notebook, it's interesting even wondering where is the notebook right now, because the Laundrie family attorney, Stephen Bertolino, told us that they were going through the process of taking the evidence back, both families. I was messaging with him earlier tonight, trying to sort of get that information out of him. I asked, can you say where the notebook is right now? And can you tell us what was in the notebook? And he just said no and no.
How's all this landing with the Petito family tonight? I know you're in touch.
So again, I think it's obviously an emotional time. I mean, this whole thing has been emotional, but you can just imagine what it was like for them to be at the FBI building for 8.5 hours yesterday, hearing every little detail of what their daughter went through, and then having to reclaim some of her belongings. I mean, I can't imagine. Their attorney did put out a statement today, really going at great lengths to thank law enforcement, especially the FBI here in Florida and also in Wyoming, and the victims' advocates. You know, they really felt supported by the FBI throughout this entire process.
Yeah, the public played a key role, and I will add that the FBI said their sole purpose in all of this was to find justice for Gabby. All right, Brian Entin, thank you. I want to bring in Jennifer Coffendoffer now, former FBI agent. Jennifer, as as you know, has been on this case since the very beginning, following all of the details with us. Jennifer, as always, appreciate your time. So the report states that Brian was the only person involved in Gabby's death. However, it does reference the Laundrie parents several times, as I was discussing with Brian. Does anything in the report incriminate Brian Laundrie's parents and their role for the investigation? Taking that a step further, could they still face legal challenges for obstruction of justice?
No, in my opinion, due to the fact that the FBI has said they have concluded all logical investigation and there have been no charges brought, they are not going to be brought against the Laundrie parents.
Okay. An arrest warrant was issued for Brian Laundrie on September 22nd. Why did law enforcement not name him as a suspect or charge him with the murder of Gabby earlier in the investigation, or at the very least after Gabby's remains were found back on September 19th?
Well, we know he was always termed as a person of interest, and all subjects are people of interest. It's really just semantics. When in law enforcement we say a person of interest, we know that that person has information regarding the investigation. And so, in my opinion, this was strictly semantics, and the FBI always considered him one of their subjects.
Jennifer, the report also does not account for how Brian Laundrie got away once he was back in Florida and then disappeared. Do you believe that that omission in this report was intentional?
I think that omission was because the Northport Police Department was responsible for that surveillance, and the FBI is not going to critique or go into specific detail regarding the investigation of their counterpart at this time, the local law enforcement agency that handled that surveillance.
Let's talk about those text messages that Brian and I were discussing from Brian to Gabby's phones. Essentially, Brian working to deceive police, throw them off of the scent of what was actually happening. Will we ever see the extent of those text messages? Will that be something that the public will be able to fully understand?
I think unless the Laundrie parents, unless Gabby Petito's parents or their attorneys, or through a Freedom of Information Act, a FOIA request, we will not see those.
What else stood out to you, Jennifer, in terms of this report? As I mentioned earlier, and I made a point to, it's a very brief report. There's a lot in it that we already knew. There's very little that we didn't know. Did anything stand out to you?
One thing did stand out to me, and that was that she not only died because of manual strangulation, but she was also struck. So that was not previously released in the autopsy discussions. So that was new, which tells me there must have been other evidence that we kind of talked about. Would there be any blood splattering or anything like that? So it tells me that there was additional information regarding her actual demise.
The other thing that struck me was they discussed the public's role in this case. And this was worldwide in terms of attention to Gabby Petito's disappearance, her death, the search for Brian Laundrie. They said the public's role was invaluable, covered by media around the world. They expressed deep appreciation to the public and thousands of tips. In a case like this, how does that change the impact of social media on these types of crimes and events to help investigators in their search for answers?
Well, without the social media component in this case, I don't think this case would have been solved as quickly, because I don't think her body would have been recovered, at least as quickly. So by getting this blitzkrieg of all this information out, of photos of exactly what was going on, what her van looked like, it led to the early recovery of her body, which resulted in this case being resolved quickly.
Finally, Jennifer, one question I have heard from those in the public frequently throughout this investigation is, why was the FBI never out in front of the cameras answering questions, certainly now that the case is closed, to answer some of the questions that so many have had from the media and elsewhere? Is that strategy, and did any of that surprise you?
Well, the interesting thing about the FBI is we're actually very decentralized. We have 56 field offices, and each of those field offices have special agents in charge. And those SACs that we call them make all the decisions about the cases that we investigate and make the decisions about the media. In this case, You had two special agents in charge that did not like to disclose information to the media, as juxtaposed to the SAC in Dallas, for instance, regarding the synagogue takeover. And that SAC was very interactive with the media. So it is up to that special agent in charge. And when I saw how close to the vest this case and the details were kept, I was not surprised that the presser was merely by paper as opposed to being in the public.
The final report, and this one coming out of the Denver FBI office. Jennifer Coffendorfer, since the start of this, you have been a wealth of knowledge and information. I thank you once again for providing some of your insight tonight.
Thank you, Marnie.
Gabby's case has changed the way news organizations cover missing people, and that is certainly true here at NewsNation and on this show, Prime. It inspired our weekly series, Missing on Prime, where our correspondents travel to places all over the country. We are covering cases that have not received nearly as much attention as Gabby's. We are hoping to bring awareness and answers to so many families, and there are thousands. This is a way that Gabby's legacy lives on and will continue to live on here with our team dedicated to this search on NewsNation Prime and to missing cases across the country. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.